Blessings and welcome forward once again to Reasonings right here at the Tree of Life. I want to give thanks to all who have subscribed, and we are giving thanks for the fact that we reached a milestone, over 10,000 subscribed, and we didn't really know, hallelujah, that this was possible or that this would happen so fast. And we're so thankful that we are complete strangers and we're coming into your living room, into your car, on your smartphone, your laptop, and all your devices, and you're so happily receiving us, and some of you not so happily, but the fact is you have allowed us into your space, and you have, acknowledged that through the subscriptions, and we're so happy that you have done that, We're so thankful. Yah be praised in all ways, and as we are growing, right, as Jamaicans, as Americans, as Canadians, as Africans, as indigenous, original peoples, right, we are all thankful that, we have the opportunity, and the ability to share like this. So we do give thanks, This moment I am giving a word that I want to offer unto you. And the essence of it is that there is something awry in parenting. And there's a strong impetus towards wholesome parenting. Because, especially in the structure of modern societies, we were taught about the design of the nuclear family, extended family, your relatives, your relations, and all things and all manner relating to the family. We were also taught that the family that basically prays together, stay together, meaning that the family that is harmonious together tends to be together longer, stronger, and have a greater impact on each other and their environment. But we have seen in a modern construct where individuals are being groomed to fulfill a point outside of the family first before they fulfill that point inside the family, i.e., children are being groomed to satisfy their ambitions or the ambitions of their parents, and then to be able to satisfy those desires and add to the family in terms of the procurement of material and the continuation of resources and sustenance, right? While it is natural within us to take care of our family, parenting suggests that there is a guiding principle, an understanding genuinely based on the highest, most divine law, that our Creator is truly our divine parent, is our Father and Sacred Mother. And as such, our lives are imbued with that divine law. And then we as humans continue that law. So parenting is about truly guiding our children in the divine way. And even if we ourselves were not guided in the proper way, over time it would have served us well to have learnt the practices that made or will make proper parenting a manifest reality. I mean, there's a lot of things that we have been through as human beings that tend to define us, and a lot of us tend to go back to the fact that we said our parenting, our parents were the worst, or they messed up our lives, or they made our lives a living hell, or they caused us to turn out the way we did. While some people will say it in a more affirmative way that because of my mother and my father, I am the success that I am today. They were actually the driving force, like the very energy and essence that literally yanked me, pushed me, shoved me out of bed in the morning, that caused me to get up, get out, focus my mind, and conquer those specified problems in the designed reality. So we can understand by such strong testimony in the individual context, people are truly saying, listen, this is how I came to my awareness of myself. My parents really helped to make me and really made me, or really broke me. So when we look at parenting, one must be very conscientious that not all parents start out with this vast amount of knowledge and mothering and fathering. They are socialized into a family structure that, as we say in many other videos, is highly dysfunctional in a lot of sense, in a lot of context, doesn't matter the society. So when you're born in these broken situations and you're seeing this heavy level of dysfunction, and then now you have actualized this heavy level of dysfunction, it's hard then for someone to say, okay, I am then going to live this wholesome life, be a genuine mother or father to my children, be this great parent, when simply the ability to be such is just not in you, especially because that comes through socialization. And a lot of times we are not appropriately socialized as such. So thus now we have to look at what is true parenting before we can even go to the context of what's wrong in modern parenting. We made some allusions to people saying their lives were practically made better or worse because of their parenting. So what is true parenting? Well, first of all, we are God's creation. The natural world and its laws are our manifestation, it is our function, and it is the very nature of our practice. First of all, follow nature. The need to nurture in a woman, the need to protect in a man. To protect so as to preserve the offsprings and to preserve the life, the natural instinct now being miscalled to be the provider. So first, it was protector, not provider. So the protector spirit, masculine, pragmatic, practical entity is the father. To nurture is the mother. To nurture that offspring that is gentle, genteel, and innocent needs to be nurtured by the feminine entity, because that is how we are created, procreated. You start from we start from a seed, from the subtlest, simplest, and we grow into our greatest, most expansive manifestation called mature adulthood, growing old. Nurturing is the nature of feminine mother, earth mother, mother of nations. Mothers nurture, mothers take care to see that the offspring is fed, is nourished, that the life force is engendered. Fathers ensure the environment in which the new offspring is not exposed to the various dangerous elements of existence. The role of protector to ensure that there is food, that there is shelter, that there is a sufficient environment in which the mother can nurture. Long before design, civilization, constructed society formalization, is the need to protect in the man, the need to stand and be responsible and responsive in situations as to care and be there to ensure your family is in a safe, tranquil, positive, uplifting, inspirational environment. In the modern context, Mr. Provider, by whatever means your mentalities, provide. You create that atmosphere, you protect your offsprings, you protect your wife, you protect your family, you create that atmosphere, that environment by which all the beautiful things can grow. True parenting is the protection, the provider, masculine, the nurturer, the caregiver, mother, feminine, in harmony, in tandem, hallelujah, in focused harmony, in natural alignment. True parenting. True parenting. The offsprings will grow to actualize the nurturing principles of mother in feminine manifestations, the protective provider role in the masculine children. They will learn from their fathers as how to provide for the family, protect their family, to create that atmosphere, that environment for their family. And she, beautiful daughter, will someday make great mother, great caregiver, great nurturer for the innocence, the subtle gentility of the newborn, of the offsprings. True parenting celestial, divine, natural, via the laws of Yah. Now let's examine the context of modern parenting. With the matrilineal and the patriarchal, matrilineal and the patrilineal, the paternal and the maternal viewpoints in life being pushed, aligned away from each other, out of alignment rather, we can see that father's view of how children should be grown, isolated. Mother's view of how children should be grown, isolated. All that causes is further isolation in offspring, divorce, modern family context for provider and match for money material relationships, or pleasure-based relationship turning into the production, reproduction, into progeny, offspring springing up everywhere without their parents, i.e. mother and father, going two different directions in thought. Aggressive, confused, self-centered, egotistic male, confused, distracted, misaligned, feminine, woman without balance. Together, off balance, unbalanced in the treadmills of life. He's got a 9 to 5, she's got a 4 to 6, she's got a 4 to 8. It's all in the context of who's got time to protect, to care, to provide, to nurture in an environment where it's busy, it's Hollywood, it's city lights, it's the fastest moving vibe that you can catch a high on, but no one wants to have a family in the midst of Times Square. Time is being squared around us and it's not making no sense because there's no way the circle of eternity can fit squarely into our lives. It's too rough. It's too dysfunctional. It's too disorganized. It's too disjointed. New family structures aren't natural, aren't godly. And there are a plethora of reasons why the males go one direction, the females go one direction. There's a plethora of reasons why in the design of the feminine consciousness by socialization, i.e., where the daddy them there, where the papa them there, where the father them there, where them there, tell me now, them out there somewhere. It affects the daughters who can't see no future, no protector, no provider in the man where she loving. And where the daddy them there, where them there, make the youth them don't know how to be a true father. And where the daddy them there, where them really want to know where the father them there. Where are the fathers? That's why the youth, that's why the males don't know how to be a true protector, a true caregiver, to create that real provided atmosphere where the woman and the offspring can be cared and nurtured, and of that expression he can feel proud to know that this is his family that sustains him. Dysfunctional family structures, sperm bank realities, ladies, it's wrong. My opinion. Where the daddy them there? Where are the fathers when procreation is cryo? It's frozen. It's deeply frozen, thawed out in the egg of the swimmers of time. These seamen from the salty oceans of within can find themselves being confined in ice, not brought back to life. Imagine what cold children they bring into this world. These sperm bank progeny, these sperm donor evolutions. Woo! And this, as Bob said, this sperm donor adaptation family. That's causing people to not recognize. It takes two to party. Not you and the scientist that's impregnating with the implements, but actually you and Mr. Right, or secondary right, or third right, or the good moment that brought this beautiful life. Whatever your progeny came about, however, unfortunately there are some awful situations, but beyond those awful situations, it is still beautiful that there is life. Be responsible. Don't plan to go sperm harvesting for the donor trip of a surrogate kick. Hi, I've got a family now. Dysfunctions are created in the women that carry those surrogate children. Those eggs, does it belong to them? Is it their egg? Is it his sperm, her egg? Is it her egg? Is it your wife's egg? Whose is it? Whose baby is it? Is it, wait a minute, hold my head. Is that ethical? I don't know. Do we have a surgeon general or a medical, somebody that says that's ethical? Do you think that's ethical? Oh my God, I'm scratching my head. Whose child is it? How do we create life like this? Why are we creating life like this? And I know they're going to say, you don't understand. We've been barren forever, trying to till the soil to be fertile. But fertility isn't just motherhood, and it isn't just gentility. To be a mother is more than biology. It is socialization, it is social psychology, it is nature, it is nurture. So sometimes nature has little issues, and the individual manifestations causes barrenness and sterility, right? So for the sterile male and the infertile female, there are always more children than earth and nature and their parents can maintain. It's just the way life is. Adoption, and that's a form of adaptation, but it's a natural one. Adoption is always an option. But we're not talking about baby market adoption, black market, black swap adoption, under the table, 100,000. Let's slide some kids across the glide walk to your comfortable, boardwalk in the new world. I'm saying where adoption really is the true option, go for the application and make it a true family situation.
The second point I want to make is parents. When the male and female have their kids and they want to give away the kids, they give the kids to the government. And that's the worst thing you're not supposed to do. And the government will spoil the whole thing.
As Bob is saying, when the children are born in difficult modern societies and for whatever reason, socialization, social conditioning, they give up their children to the system. And then the system that is not a father or a mother is then now thrown in a role to nurture and to protect and to care and to provide. What an awful mess we are creating. So modern context of parenting is out of whack, out of sync, totally off kilter. So dysfunctionality, the viper vibration, this generation of vipers, this viper vibration, well, we can see it not just in emanation but in reality. In truth, we can look around and see that the broken structures of how children are being parented has created this end result, that we are not being socialized, we are not being appropriately educated by how our parents are supposed to parent us, or they're supposed to groom us, or they're supposed to really truly nurture, protect us, create this example, this atmosphere, this environment in which we feel comfortable, in which we are truly at peace, to be fulfilled, to grow up and ourselves repeat the cycle, and then to be responsible and responsive parents to our offspring, that life continues in tandem based upon what has been, right? So this socialization is the nature of life, that if we get forward into what is true parenting, respecting the laws of nature, and that it's not just the female in the single parent, single mother household who's trying to be both male and female for her child or her children, it's just not going to work in the context, but yet still they have to make it work. So brothers who are so detached, and yet still you leave your own children for whatever the means, and then you become stepfather to another child, to another man's children, it's very complex. So you got to learn to be, well, a good father, and in that case a good stepfather. It's not two roles that are separate, they have to become one role. So those roles aren't separate. They have to become one role. So, you know, you got to learn to be both a father and in that context a stepfather. Because not all broken relationship we do understand will come back together. But fathers have to be present in the life of their children for that sense of protection and that sense of well-being, so your child feels safe to grow up into a world they are not yet able to totally process. You got to remember the gentility and the innocence and the fragility of their minds, right, and their spirit, their very natures. You know, they're soft. They're so precious. So you got to remember that they need both the feminine and the masculine. They need both together. In contexts where brothers, you know, she got a couple of children, a lot of you I know of the right heart, you'll still continue, even if you don't have children, to make a family. I can say it will be hard, but you'll know that if you love her, you love her children, and in time, you'll all work your issues into the harmony of a family. So this is something that the Lord has spoken to my heart because of so much experiences. It's saying to me that, Jerome, I must explain the underlying context. The underlying context is that I always say the father of the child should really be the one to teach a child how to be whoever that child ought to be in this life. And I did not really believe that a surrogate in terms of a stepfather or a stepmother should be the one. It's the mother or the father. But the Lord is showing me the context of the spirit. It's not just the manifestations of the form. But remember the spirit of it all, that some mothers or some were mothered by a mother that weren't their biological mother. Some households that I know grew up with, you know, they've had children from several different families and there were no official adoption, but this is how they grew up, with one mother that aren't their mothers, right? And the essence of it is that I always say, well, that's going to create greater dysfunction, but now I understand by the Spirit of the Lord that mothering is a very important thing to nurture and to care. So women who see the man with one or two children, you must understand he has his reality, and the reality comes with the children. It doesn't put a mark on you. It puts a certain space in your consciousness to realize that if you two do continue, hallelujah, you will also be a mother and you will also have your own children. So how you treat his children will also reflect in how you treat your own children, because they will become your children. So essentially, it goes both ways. So in a context where relationships have many reasons why they separate and their children left as the consequences or the end result, or just the natural process gone awry, then we must realize that there are going to have to be some families joined by the Spirit where the man has two children, and she has one child, and it comes together, or vice versa, or however it is. Some family, when they come together, they need a big house. The Lord is happy. Hallelujah. Because it's a family. It's a place where His Spirit can dwell, and His presence and the presence of holiness can have part and participate and have function. So the essence of it is, for all the misconfigured, misaligned, broken, disjointed structures of family, parenting, relationship, it's very responsible to spend some time examining your mental patterns, how you think about your offspring, how you think about having an offspring, how you think about being a protector and a provider, a nurturer and a caregiver, a protector, strong-minded, strong-willed, a loving, nurturing, very beautiful socializing agent in the life of your offspring. Do consider, do make sense of it, process it. For those who jump the gun, become parents so early in life that they scarcely have time to find out their own biology and mentality as youth and sisterins, I say it's not all over. You can still learn from your mother. She was a parent before you. Still learn from your father, young man. He was a father, a parent before you. It's a process. Life is about effort. Be effectual in your efforts. Don't feel carried away. Don't feel broken. Don't feel battered. Don't feel overwhelmed. Though sometimes you actually will. I mean, don't be totally broken down when you do. Recognize that there's pressures in growing children, growing them up right, especially when society, the world is pressing down on you, putting images in your mind, putting images in the minds of your children, telling them, showing them, suggesting to them how they should be, suggesting to you how you should be. You got to ensure that you got some amount of wit about you, sense about you, peace about you, to grab some power from grandma, from grandpa, from the true extended family, from the true communal family, that teaches, that shows, that shares, that suggests and truly actualizes protection, care, and nurturing, and sustenance, and the protection of a community, and the allowance that we can express ourselves and have misunderstandings and yet come to clarity. Reason it out, because love, blood is thicker than water. Let us be as Yahweh says, blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh. Blessings to you, O sacred parents, because I recognize there needs to be a resurgence in your clarity, in your focus, in your intentions, in your attitudes towards how you're bringing up your children, bringing them up right, keeping them on the right path, giving them moral strengths and internal ethics, hallelujah, to be able to practice what you preach, what they preach, what you suggest to them, what you tell them is the right way. Pray the Most High give you strength. Pray the divine will always be with you in your mental, in your emotional, in your physicality of how you're disciplining your children, so that you're not taken up or caught up with things that you know will lead them awry. That all is on you, because before they were, yet you are, and you are the portals through which they came. You are responsible to the divine for them. You will answer for them before they can answer for themselves. Do a great job on yourself, learning and being more responsible and responsive to the situations, to the convictions, to the context that you find yourself in as new parents, old parents, becoming parents at an old age, or just simply starting out on the journey, hoping to be. Just be clear, pray about it, seek as much clarity. The Lord is with you, He is always there. There will always be that guiding light, consciousness and awareness to that path. So this has been Jerome Sage Butler at the river of life, telling you about pathways of life that I've encountered that suggest that parenting is necessary at the highest level for our children, for our societies, for our worlds, for our nation states to come back in harmony, in order, and in right flow. So towards all this beautiful harmony, we don't have to ask how where the daddy them there, or where are the fathers, or where are the mothers, that together we can see each other, learn from each other, and let us be a community where all the children are your children, and you are everyone else's child. And so there's a responsibility for us to protect each other, to care for each other, and to love each other. So until we meet again, sparking thoughts of good parenting, reminding you of how awesome you've been on your job, on your duty, and in your natural function of being a great parent. Continue to protect and to nurture. Until next we meet, blessings.